A recent report from Bobby Marks, the ESPN insider, has come out and said that the Chicago Bulls could not even move Zach Lavine with a first round pick attached to him. We're going to be talking about how this absolutely crushes the Chicago Bulls as they move forward in free agency. This is Rico Greenhowe, and this is another episode of Bulls Digest. Before we jump into it, want to let you know that 77.5% of you guys that watch the videos are not subscribed to the channel. Make sure you mash that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the latest news and happenings around your Chicago Bulls. Without further ado, let's jump into the hot topic of the day, guys, which is Lavine trade market not good. All right, guys, and so this is a tough bit of news for the Chicago Bulls, and this is just, I'm gonna call it, it's not looking good. Okay, so first of all, to put this in context, Bobby Marks is the ESPN NBA front office analyst that has been a GM in the NBA before, most notably with the Nets. And so this guy definitely knows what he's talking about here. But we're going to break into the report, guys. And I'm going to say this. With this Lavine news, I think that this puts to bed any situation where the Bulls would go ahead and sit on him, and possibly use him for the long-term rebuild. I think that is out the window, guys. And I think that what we are going to find out in today's video would probably suggest that for sure DeMar DeRozan is probably gone, and then there's a world where we could possibly lose Patrick Williams for nothing too. But anyhow, let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. And so, look, Chicago Bulls receiving concerning reports about Zach Lavine trade. This is from Joey Lynn, a very good article as well, guys, so make sure you check it out. But this is exactly what Bobby Marks had to say. Chicago has been trying to move Zach Lavine forever. They can't find any takers just to get off his contract. I don't even think attached a first-round pick teams would take him. So that impacts DeMar DeRozan because you can't sign DeRozan and keep Lavine. Now you go into the luxury tax, guys. And so, look, that is absolutely right on par, and that is right on par with what I've been talking about throughout this offseason, guys. And remember, I had talked about what the Chicago Bulls could do. Could they do a kind of like a soft rebuild where they were going to rebuild around DeMar DeRozan? Were they going to do a tough rebuild, which means that you would probably take everybody off the team but maybe one or two players, guys? And look, because we allowed Lonzo Ball to go ahead, pick up that option, and it looks like the team has no interest in moving on from him right now. And then the fact that we did not do anything with Lavine, this severely hurts us as far as signing players that we might have some interest in signing. This includes trickling down to Patrick Williams, guys. So we are in a tough situation. And I want to go back to what was said by Will Goblet, who was on CHGO. It is a terrific article, guys. And he is breaking down what exactly the Chicago Bulls had to do in order to retain some key free agents, guys. And like I said, he broke this down perfectly. And the funny thing is, this is the exact scenario that we are in. And this goes into the frustration that I have. How is it that people that don't even work for the Chicago Bulls see what's going on, right? And you have a chance to be proactive. And once again, guys, we are going into a reactive situation, guys. So this is a tough pill to swallow, guys. And like I said before, it's very tough. So again, this is notably what was talked about with Casey Johnson to start off. Look, we know about DeRozan getting offered the 2-year deal, yada, yada, yada. We know about for how much money. But look at this. This is saying with no Lavine trade, no medical retirement of Ball, letting Drummond, Green, Craig, who just picked up his option, Bateen, all this, right? The Bulls would be over the 11.4 million luxury tax. They would be 4.4 million past the first apron, right? And so this is before the roster is even set. So by not moving Lavine going into free agency, guys, we are in trouble here, all right? In some serious trouble. So look at this. All right, now here's the deal that it was talking about. Timing is crucial. Finding a new home for Lavine and determining Ball's potential to return before it's time to resign DeRozan and Williams will be a challenge. Free agency begins obviously on the 30th. It's unlikely Lavine will be the primary target for any team, which we do know, and other dominoes will have had to fall before teams turn into taking a look at Lavine. And so he's talking about like Paul George, Brandon Ingram, all this stuff like that. By this time, DeRozan, Williams, they've entered free agency, which is exactly where we're headed to. And the Bulls won't risk getting stuck with an $11.4 million in the tax by signing DeMar DeRozan and, also too, without resolving the Lavine and Ball situations, guys. And this is exactly where we are as we push forward, guys. And so this is why I'm saying that this does not look particularly good for the Chicago Bulls as far as retaining a guy like DeMar DeRozan or possibly retaining Patrick Williams at this point in time, guys. We might lose Patrick Williams for nothing because the finances. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, you had to know that this was going to happen to us. The fact that we haven't been actively on the phone trying to get Lavine out of Chicago, like, we should have been doing this probably at the start of last season. Like, we had to know what was going to happen. And on top of that, guys, we've already traded Alex Caruso away, which that was talked about as Alex Caruso was the one player that a lot of people would probably accept with any other player on our roster, but we allowed that deal to happen, getting no trade assets and only getting a young point guard back, which it could be serviceable for us in the long term, but it might help us here, or it might hurt us, as far as trying to get off of a Lavine deal. So, look, I don't know what we do with this. I mean, now if we're saying no picks would interest teams and we're going to have to wait until maybe the tail end of free agency, middle of free agency, by that time, who knows what the team is going to look like at this point in time and who we're going to be able to sign and whatnot. So, I think that this is a tough situation. I think that this was nailed ahead of time, talking about what could possibly happen for the Chicago Bulls. And like I've been saying before, look, there is so many, situations where the Chicago Bulls have basically put themselves not just with the back in the wall, like they are behind the wall. Like they have to punch themselves out of this thing. And I don't know how they're going to do that when you get news like this from Bobby Marks. Now, am I saying that Lavine's not going to be traded? No, I'm not saying that. He eventually will be traded. But by the time we do trade him, it could be too late because some of the stuff that we probably wanted to do with the roster, we're not going to have that financial flexibility, guys. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I know I've been rambling on here and essentially, kind of showing you guys like that we're in a tough situation with this. Do you think at the last hour, Lavine is going to be moved and we're going to be able to take care of maybe some players that we want to take care of as far as signing them, mainly notable Patrick Williams. I know what the situation is with DeMar DeRozan, how we feel about that, but more so with Patrick Williams. Do you think that the Chicago Bulls are going to try to make something happen so they can get the max offer, whatever they need out to Patrick Williams, even if they do not keep DeMar DeRozan? Do you guys think that at the end of the day, we're just going to have to wait this thing out some more? We're going to lose Patrick Williams. We're going to lose DeMar, and eventually we're going to trade Lavine for a bag of chips, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking about this. And it looks like we're going to head into a bad situation. And I'm going to say it's the merry-go-round of the bad situation. Even though we don't know what we're doing, guys, I'm still saying go Bulls. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, 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 peace.